A few weeks ago, we went on a short trip to Niagara Falls, this time with my mom who was visiting, but no, you won't see her face in this video because she doesn't want to appear on YouTube, at least not yet. This was my first time traveling to Niagara Falls in the summer, and it was just beautiful, but it was also super packed. Long queues at popular tourist destinations, so we avoided those and did a bunch of other things that were far more relaxing, and I'll tell you all about that in this video. So let's start. So here's the cheapest and I'd also say most comfortable way to get to Niagara Falls without a car. We live on the west side of Toronto and took an Uber to Port Credit because that's the closest station to us where there was a direct GO train connection to Niagara Falls. So we didn't need to change trains. We took the 9:26 a.m. GO train on a Sunday and the journey was 2 hours long. Standard one-way tickets for adults cost $19.25 and even with the Presto card, it's still $16.19. So for that Sunday, we bought ourselves a weekend day pass for $10 each. My mom, on the other hand, could get the senior fare using her Presto card, so she only paid $9.65 for that trip. And here's the Niagara Falls GO station, and it was an ocean of humans. Yes, it was as packed on the train as well, and it was quite difficult to get a seat. First things first, we went to have lunch at Taku Sushi, this Japanese place, a really cozy place with lots of options, and they have specials each day. For example, the chicken teriyaki on that Sunday for only $12, and in total we spent $70.50 here. And as our check-in time at our bed and breakfast was at 3 p.m., we decided to just get coffee at this donut place called Country Fresh Donuts first. And although I was never a big fan of donuts, this was different. Usually donuts are super sweet, but these here, the donuts tasted light and fluffy, and the cream and the glaze was just very light sweet, so even I became a fan of it. And at this price for donuts and coffee, it's just very hard to say no. This place is run by an elderly couple. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I heard them speaking Cantonese. And after reading the reviews, it turned out that they also sell wonton soup here, which is really a hype in this city. And that was why I decided to come back on the last day. So I'll get back to that wonton soup later. So after chilling here for about an hour, we made our way to our Airbnb. I found this bed and breakfast on booking.com, and it turned out that this was the top rated bed and breakfast in Niagara Falls with a rating of 9.7, which is super high. It's a beautiful large house with 6 rooms, and the great thing was that the host allowed us to check in early at 2:30 p.m. so that made things a lot easier for us. Our room was the cloud yellow and it had one king bed, I think it was, and also a queen or a double-sized bed. Our room was very spacious and it was located on the second floor of the house facing the Niagara River, a very beautiful view, and the place was so cozy and most importantly, especially to me, super clean. 2 nights cost us $587.83 or $293 per night on average, including a generous, yummy breakfast, which I will show you later. During low season, you could probably get a room such as this one for $200 or even slightly under. So we dropped our stuff here and just took a quick nap. By the way, guys, staying organized when traveling makes everything so much easier. And that's why I love using toiletry bags like this one here from the brand Everfun. They sent me a few bags here, and here's some of their newest ones, like this greenish turquoise one here. I really love this color. They have so many compartments of different sizes, and there's also this hook here that you can use to hang in the bathroom. It's very light and it's pretty compact as well. But the best thing I think is that it's water resistant and leak proof, which is super important. So in case you want to get any of these for yourself or as a gift, you can click on the link in the descriptions below. And there's also a limited time promotion going on, so make sure that you check out the promo codes on Amazon. Thanks again to Everfun for sponsoring a portion of this video. After that, we walked to the falls along Niagara River Road. I love this stretch because there are so few people here, and during the summer the view is slightly blocked by the trees, but still you can see the greenish greenish tinted Niagara River, which comes from the minerals, by the way. And there are also a lot of other inns, B&Bs here, by the way. They're all clustered here, and even the bus stop is named Bed and Breakfast. So the Bird Kingdom is quite awesome. I visited there before and I recommend it, especially for those of you who are traveling with your family, if you have kids. I covered this before in a separate video, and here's a short glimpse of it. It's really a lot of fun, and you can easily spend 2 hours here. And their souvenir shop, by the way, has a lot of unique items. And here we have the Rainbow Bridge. Officially, it's called the Niagara Falls International Rainbow Bridge, which connects Niagara Falls in the United States and Niagara Falls in Canada. It's 440 meters long. So funny thing, my mom, who is a US citizen, could technically just walk over there, go home, and then come back again. We continue to walk under the bridge, and I must tell you, the architecture is really quite impressive. I think this is one of the underrated views in Niagara Falls. Okay, and here you can see the Maid of the Mist boat tour. So that is the Niagara Falls boat tour that's on the US side. The one with the blue rain jackets is on the US side, and the red ones, the red rain jackets here, is on the Canada side. That's the Niagara Cruise, or I think it's called the Hornblower boat tour. And that is why you see 2 boats. So when you make your booking for your boat tour, make sure that you get yourself booked on the right side of the river. I did this tour on the US side a long time ago as a kid, so I didn't do it again, but I would say that of all the attractions, this would be the one that's really worth paying for. Okay, passing the casino on the right side and also the secret garden. And in case you're wondering about Clifton Hills, it's right up the road here, and I'll get to that in a bit. I went to Niagara Falls in the winter and in the spring before, and during that time it was rather quiet, but this was really my first time visiting Niagara Falls in the summer, and I was surprised to see how packed it was. Honestly, not my favorite season to come here, as I don't really love crowds, but it was a quite interesting view. People from all around the world, all trying to get that perfect pretty shot in front of the falls, and us included. Okay, on the right here is what's called the Grandview Marketplace. There are a lot of souvenir shops, photo taking booths, and you can also grab a coffee or a snack here. And there's also this thing called the zip liner, or the zip line to the falls here, which looks really fun. But reading the reviews, I'm just not sure if at $70 plus HST it's really worth a single ride. But I did have a good time watching people ride it. And finally, the Grand Horseshoe Falls. Shaped like a horseshoe, is so stunning, and it turns out that approximately 90% of the Niagara River, after diversions for hydropower generation, flows over the Horseshoe Falls. After taking like a million photos here, we finally walked up Clifton Hill. And I know many people love this area. There are tons of restaurants, attractions, haunted houses, the Sky Wheel, and other entertainment, but it's just not my favorite area. Perhaps this one I do, the Speedway. At $13 for a 5-minute ride, not too bad. But we didn't go in the end because we didn't want to spend our vacation queuing. So a small tip here, if you really love attractions and you want to avoid all that queuing, then I would highly recommend you not to visit during very high season in the summer, but go during low season so you won't waste as much time queuing. Okay, almost 6 p.m. and it's early dinner time at my favorite Indian restaurant, Inchin's Indian Kitchen. I covered this before in a separate video, and I believe that this is a hidden gem. It's so delicious, and the prices really make sense for the taste and especially the huge portion sizes. We, the 3 of us, spent $67, including a tip of 15%. It's a bit tucked away, so I think that not too many tourists know about this place. But now that you do, then definitely go and try Inchin Indian's Kitchen instead of those more touristy and pricey establishments. After that, around 7:30, we walked down Clifton Hill. It was a bit less crowded then, much nicer, and we passed the Oaks Garden Theater. If you love taking pictures, then this is the place because there are not too many people here. After that, we went back to the falls, hung out there a bit, and then we decided to call it a day and walk back to our bed and breakfast. So breakfast is served at either 8 or 9 p.m. So you can just let the host know and pick a time slot. And our host, whose name is Ted, cooked our breakfast himself. In addition to some bread, we got toast, eggs, sausages, and a lot of fresh fruit. This was really awesome, and also free flow coffee. Everything was so thoughtfully prepared. The bed and breakfast is run by Ted and his wife. And by the way, they immigrated to Canada a long time ago and started this bed and breakfast business here. And I really noticed how passionate they were about making this B&B the best place to stay at. So yeah, make sure that you check out Butterfly Manor. So today, on the second day, we wanted to go to a lot more places, and that's why we decided to get ourselves Wego passes. So Wego is the bus system in Niagara Falls that connects main tourist attractions, including the bed and breakfast area. And it's really worth getting it. It's $12 for a 24-hour pass and $16 for a 40-hour pass. So you can get Wego passes at these places listed here. But if you arrive in Niagara Falls with the GO train or via rail, then the easiest thing to do is to just get it at the transit terminal. But note that at the terminal, they only accept cash as a means of payment. I'm not sure whether or not at all the other places listed here they accept debit or credit. The great thing is that the clock only starts ticking the moment you activate or you use your Wego pass for the first time. So you could buy it at noon, at 12 p.m. at the terminal, but only start using it, let's say, at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So it's worth to kind of plan how long you want to use the ticket, how long you need it to be active for, and use your Wego pass just in time. So next we were heading to the Floral show house with a green Wego line, and I'll tell you why I really enjoy this place. So waiting for the Wego bus, it was really easy to use, by the way. There are only 3 lines, the green line, red line, and the blue line, and the buses arrive about every 10 minutes during the day. And what surprised me was that the bus was really clean and comfortable. So I really recommend using the Wego bus for traveling within Niagara Falls instead of driving your car and having to look for parking and pay for parking. You'll save yourself a lot of time and money. And you can actually use the bus as a hop on and hop off tourist bus. So you can just stay inside and ride the bus around Niagara Falls and watch the scenery. So here we are at the Floral show house, which is right across the Powerhouse building. It's away from all the hustle and bustle, and it seems that not too many tourists come here. Once I arrived here, I felt this kind of spa-like relaxed atmosphere. Admission was $9 per ticket, so we spent $27 here. There's an outdoor section, we'll go there first, and also an indoor section in the glass house. And the exhibition here, by the way, is called Life on Display, with lots of miniature houses. I really like this train replica here in particular. And if you look at these buildings, they're all really nice. I would say like little rabbit houses. So if you love quiet and more tranquil spaces, then the Floral show house is definitely something for you. Okay guys, I must admit that I took way too much footage inside the show house because the plants and the colors were just so exciting. So here's a quick montage. I'll try not to show you everything just in case you visit here. There's still something left to explore, but I bet that according to the season, they also changed their plants and flowers. So whether you're genuinely interested in plants or you just want to take some nice photos like everyone here does, the Floral show house is really a great way, I think, to spend an hour or so, especially on a hot summer day. And surprisingly, I must say they have the nicest souvenir shop. So none of that cheap, ugly souvenirs, but really high quality and tasteful items. So it was 1:15 p.m. and our plan was to next go to the monastery nearby for some wine tasting. But yes, we got diverted by the beautiful Niagara River, so we headed there again to see the side beyond the Horseshoe Falls before the water splashes down. And we were not prepared for this. Water drops splashed all over us, so it would have been a really good idea to get one of those rain ponchos. But personally, I didn't mind. I think this was part of the experience and I absolutely enjoyed it. So we got as close as we could to the falls without going on a boat ride. So that was really beautiful. Now, before getting our coffee and our delicious gelato, we wanted to first check out the Table Rock Center. just to check it out, not necessarily to eat there because it's super overpriced. So here we're at the Table Rock Welcome Center. Even if you're not going to eat here, it's really worth checking out. You absolutely do not have to eat at the super expensive Table Rock restaurant and can instead just go down to the fast food court. There's also the Table Rock Market downstairs where they have a lot of snacks and cheaper eats. So here at Table Rock, you can also buy tickets to the Incline Railway and enter the journey behind the falls. This one is $24 for adults. And I saw this one, but during the pandemic, and during that time it was really empty and it felt like we had the whole place to ourselves. But now obviously during the summer it was super packed. If visiting a ton of attractions is your thing, then instead of buying individual tickets, I would really recommend you to check out their attraction packages. Getting that package makes it slightly cheaper. Okay, so from Table Rock, we then took the blue line to the casino. Well, actually not the casino, but the Falls View Casino Resort that's surrounded by a complex of restaurants and a lot of shops. Sorry in case you're disappointed, we did not go into the casino. I'm not going to cover that, but instead we went to my favorite coffee and gelato place in Niagara Falls, Il Gelato di Carlotta. And this place is also a bit hidden and tucked away. And here we got ourselves a few scoops of hazelnut rum gelato and some pastries and also 3 coffees, and we spent in total $31.70 here. In case you watch my previous travel videos, we have the habit of just eating a big breakfast or brunch and just skipping lunch, and instead of that, treating ourselves to some really nice snacks and coffee, and after that having an early dinner. And that strategy helps us to save money, but at the same time also prevents us from getting too stuffed with too much food. So after this quick break, we were off to the Monastery, back on the Wego bus, the blue line again. So this over here is the vineyard of Monastery of Mount Carmel Spiritual Retreat and Conference Center, also called Monastery Cellars. Before checking out the wine and doing the wine tasting, we dropped by the chapel, Saint Therese Shrine, to admire the beautiful chapel and also just say a little prayer. The monastery itself was built in the 19th century, and the stained glass in the chapel is absolutely gorgeous. And then through a small hallway, we got to the monastery store with the Monastery Cellars shop in the corner. And we got a flight of 3 different wines for $10. 2019 Vidal, which was just so good, my favorite. Syrah, which was on the drier side, and also an ice wine, which was nice, but very sweet and fruity. Interesting. So in the end, we decided to just get a bottle of the Vidal, which now is finished. And then from there, we went back to the B&B first to take a shower before we went to have a really yummy dinner at the Peruvian restaurant Fort You. I love this restaurant. The food is just so delicious and so unique. And this is the food that we had, and I'm sure I'm gonna do a bunch of mistakes pronouncing these items. We had 1 liter of chica morada, a sweet but really refreshing drink made of purple corn. We also had empanadas with beef, which were so good that we took some home with us. Also the chorritos a la chalaca, half a dozen mussels, and we shared the seafood rice as well, which is interesting, but it was not as good as during our last trip. Unfortunately, here the rice was just slightly undercooked. So overall, Fort You is a really awesome place with delicious food. It's also away from the hustle and bustle, not so many tourists. I really recommend this place. Before heading back to Toronto, as I told you earlier, we just had to try out that wonton soup at Country Fresh Donut because everyone was raving about it in the comments. The best wonton soup, they say. And also, I had to take home some of those delicious donuts with me. So we went back to Country Fresh Donuts and got ourselves 2 small portions of the wonton soup for sharing, and well, how to put it gently, it was just not what I expected. Let me put it this way. Whether or not some soup tastes good or not really depends on your previous experience with that particular soup. If you in your life had 10 other delicious wonton soups before, then this one here will definitely not strike you as delicious in any way. So for me, sorry, I really didn't like it that much. But I do understand why some people might really like it, and I really don't want to ruin it for those of you who haven't tried it, because the soup has become quite iconic in some way. I guess that there's just a lot of fun to buying an about $5 or less warm soup that has a bunch of wontons in it and chashu or pork bits and these crunchy dough sticks. Top it with lots of spicy sriracha. And yes, I could see this working as a midnight snack or so. So I don't know, perhaps you'll like it. Anyways, we got ourselves 6 donuts for takeout. A lot of the items were unfortunately sold out, so we mostly got those lemon cream filled donuts and also some crullers and some coffees. And I must say those lemon cream donuts were so good, and I really regret not getting a dozen there. So in total, we spent $23 at Country Fresh Donuts. Time to head back to Toronto, and there were only 2 direct connections on that Tuesday at 10 past 1 p.m. and the other one was at 10 past 9 p.m. That one was too late for us, so we went for the first one. As this was a weekday, we could not buy the weekend day passes, so instead we got ourselves a ticket each. My husband paid using his Presto card, so he paid $16.19. My mom got her senior fare of $9 and something, and I, for the first time, tried to pay with my credit card. And it turned out to be very easy. So when you use your credit card on the Go Transit, you are charged the same fare as the Presto fare. So in this case, $16.19. Just use it the same way as you would the Presto card. So tap on when you hop on, and when you hop off, you need to tap off so the system knows how much to charge you. And here we are back at Port Credit, tap off. So how much did we spend in total for our entire trip? In total, the 3 of us spent about $1,072 for an about 2.5 days and 2 night trip. It was very worth it, and I had an awesome time. So guys, let me know if this video helped you to plan for your own trip. And just in case you need more videos on Niagara Falls, where to stay, what to eat, and so on, then you can check out this video up here. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Enjoy the summer, and I'll see you pretty soon in the next video. Bye. And finally, the Grand Horseshoe. Is that a tongue twister, or is it just me? And finally, the Grand Horseshoe Falls.